and create something called Spotlight. And Spotlight is a tool now for law enforcement and the FBI to find children that are being trafficked over the internet.
Hovde also talked about Hovde Homes, charitable shelters for vulnerable children he's financed mostly in Central America. President Biden and former President Trump, the winners of their respective parties' primaries held in 5 states yesterday. Both have already secured the Democratic and Republican nominations. In one of the most closely watched down-ballot races, Trump-backed Ohio Republican Bernie Moreno won the GOP nomination for Senate as he looks to unseat Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown in November. House Republicans grilling a number of Hunter Biden's business associates on Capitol Hill today as part of their ongoing impeachment inquiry into President Biden. ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill with more on the Democrats' response to today's proceedings.
Talk to Democrats on this committee who are trying to use today as essentially the nail in the coffin, in their view, in this long, months-long House Republican-led investigation into the president that has generated a lot of smoke but has yet to find a direct connection between Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings and President Biden.
Federal appeals court putting a controversial Texas immigration law back on hold. Late last night, a 3-judge panel at the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted 2-1 against an earlier ruling from another panel that put the law titled SB 4 into effect. SB 4 would allow local police to arrest anyone they suspect of crossing the border illegally. Arguments set to be heard this morning on Texas's request to put that law back into effect. Another Wisconsin college in danger of closing their doors.
Northland College in Ashland says they need to raise $12 million by April 3rd, or the school will begin the process of closing after this academic year. A review by the Board of Trustees and college leadership confirmed the school does not have sufficient resources to continue programs and operations beyond this year. Northland is the latest in a series of Wisconsin campuses in danger of shutting down. Last week, UW-Milwaukee announced that it will close its branch campus in Waukesha in the spring of 2025. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Kilwin's Candy Shop at Bayshore Mall closing its doors on Monday. The owners opened Kilwin's in 2014 after working in the medical field. A retirement sale at the store runs through Monday. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 33 points. NASDAQ is up just a fraction, and the S&P 500 is up 2. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Nelnet Incorporated has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Facilities Coordinator Sunday Heidemann, local and partner ring true for you. Why?
They become your friend. They are easy to work with. You get to know them on a personal level, and they're very outgoing.
James Imaging Systems, helping local businesses do business better.
Being a partner, we can collaborate with each other, and we can make the best needs and outcome for our company.
James Imaging Systems, better technology, great people.
Makes my job so much easier that I can contact the people that know the machines, and I know I'm going to be taken care of.
Sunday, anything to say about James Imaging Systems to others?
They're a great team to work with.
Document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop, General, and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns, your due for service.
Such a refreshing change, Rich Lawns.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks face the best team in basketball tonight, tipping off against the Celtics in Boston. A couple of days away from March Madness for Wisconsin teams. Wisconsin are in the 5th seed in the South region. They play 12th-seeded James Madison in Brooklyn Friday night. A 2nd seed Marquette will play 15th-seeded Western Kentucky in Indianapolis on Friday afternoon. And the Brewers edge the Guardians 8-5 in spring training action from Goodyear. Milwaukee now 12-13 in exhibition play. They host the Giants tomorrow night. Take a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. There is a disabled vehicle that's blocking the left shoulder, I-94 west at the ramp from 70th Street. Might be some slowing in that area. Otherwise, no major delays to report this hour.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. Sunny, breezy, cool today, 36 for the high, and an overnight low of 24 tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, snow later on Thursday, a high 35. A mix Friday, snow to a mix likely with some snow accumulation, a high 37. Sunny and cold and 33 for the high on Saturday, then increasing cloudiness with a mix possible later Sunday, a high of 39. Madison still at 26, Green Bay 25, Milwaukee 31. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ, showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's your host, Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place yours.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. We're all business all the time here on the Upswing, talking with people that care and do. And I got to tell you, when you think of that, the people that truly care and do each and every day in our community, journalists and reporters are at the heart of that, telling stories, kind of getting to the bottom of things, making sure that we're all informed and updated on our communities. Truly, truly important. So I'm happy once again to have Mark Cass, the editor at the Milwaukee Business Journal, and joining him today, Sean Ryan from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Sean has reported at the Business Journal since 2010. He covers mainly commercial real estate, economic development, construction, and transportation. Reported on these topics for actually more than 20 years in the community, previously at the Daily Reporter. He's won 3 awards from the Wisconsin Newspaper Association and several from the Milwaukee Press Club. Sean, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're a last-minute kind of pitch hint here. We had Teddy Nichol originally scheduled. Teddy's at home with a sick kid. We went, oh, Teddy, I hope you're doing okay. I hope the young one is on his or her way to a speedy recovery. So what else do we need to know about you, Sean? I know Mark is a UWM grad. You're a Badger, right?
I am a Badger.
How you feeling about the tournament?
I always support our local sports teams.
All right,
that's really not an answer, Sean. I mean, I do Q&As
Come on.
all the time. That's not an answer.
I am an optimist. I always feel good about the home teams until they lose, so hopefully that won't happen.
There you go.
All right, very good. So Mark Cass, a friendly reminder, editor-in-chief at the Milwaukee Business Journal, a role he's had since 2003. Previously, Newsroom's managing editor, and before that, a reporter, and obviously a wonderful news partner here at WTMJ. So the first thing, I saw this in Fast Company this week that the headline was pretty interesting. It said, Facebook and X have given up on news. LinkedIn wants to fill that void. LinkedIn is a professional social media network. Can it be a place for news? And what are you seeing from the Business Journal standpoint in terms of posting and engagement on LinkedIn?
It has increased dramatically, Jeff. And it's very interesting because all these media things kind of run over time. They go up, they go down. Twitter was huge for a while. It's still big, but it seems to be more kind of narrow for sports and other things. For Facebook, more about your things going on in your own life, but still drives traffic for us a lot. I've seen just such an increase on LinkedIn and for news. I mean, in the past, it had always been, I'm taking this job, I'm moving here, I'm looking for a job. Now there's a lot of news on there. There's a lot more people are adding comments. They're actually sharing stories. So we've seen a great increase in our interaction on LinkedIn, and it's good for us because a lot of our readers are there. It's where a majority of them are. I would say, if I had to say something, I'd say maybe half are on X or Twitter. Everyone's on Facebook. Again, not for our kind of news, but really everyone's on LinkedIn. So it has a great future. It really does.
When you talk trusted and relevant platforms, there's a trust there because often you have relationships with the people you're connected with.
Exactly.
So you feel like, whoa, the commentary and the stories, they all work together, and it's a generally pretty HR-friendly, work-safe vibe.
And it's also on a higher level because Twitter can get kind of, come on, let's be honest. It can get they can get ugly sometimes, and people say things they probably shouldn't say, But it just seems a higher class on LinkedIn, more about the issue and not about kind of attacks on each other.
Yeah, very much so. And I think as someone that likes to share news, not only from WTMJ and the Business Journal and others, I want to get good engagement and I want to be proud of where I put that.
Right.
And I think LinkedIn is really becoming that place for business news, and it will be interesting to see how it continues to evolve. All right, up next, we're going to continue our conversation with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Business Journal. We're going to talk Donald Driver. We're going to talk 40 Under 40 celebration, some Top Chef scoops maybe from Mark Cass, and a whole lot more.
So I'm not sure about that.
This is The Upswing. We'll be right back.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Unless the grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. Hello, this is Archbishop Listecki. Jesus is the very bread of life. Like the grain of wheat, he suffers and dies so that we might live with him forever. The Eucharist is real food, multiplying his love in all of us. It's Lent. Join us at Mass.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations too at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome back to The Upswing. We're talking local business headlines with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Mark, Monday night was the big 40 Under 40 celebration. Our very own Vince Vitrano co-emceed the event in the
He's
evening.
not under 40, though. I want to be clear with people. He was not an honoree. He was a host. Let's be careful there.
Yes. And I heard he did a wonderful job with his former co-host, Susan Kim. What were some of the highlights of that event?
I think the energy, I think the activity, and I think just optimism. Here you had leadership, kind of future leaders in the community. And what was kind of cool up on stage, and I actually made this comment a couple times to Vince, as you heard what some of them are doing, we actually had a guy from the medical college who's a brain surgeon, and he's helping to cure cancer. We had other people who've just accomplished so much at such a young age. And what that means, optimism for the community. And we had the mayor there, and the mayor said it. Frank, you guys are the future leaders of our community. We need you to step up. We need you to be involved. So what I like about the event all the time is it's a showcase for young leaders. Often all the media is really just is always accused of being always negative. It's just saying this is bad, this is bad. Well, this is our program, and we've been doing it for a long time to optimism, to show you here in Future Leaders that there are so many people in this community who have been 40 under 40s who are now mayor. I mean, I can say that, who are now the county exec, who are now CEOs in our area, who have just, who've shown what they can do. And I think what you have to look at is you have to look at who's coming next. And that's so important for our region.
Yeah, and creating those mentorships and relationships are so very important in events like 40 under 40 that help drive that.
So I have to ask if you've asked him to see his bobblehead, Vince, because he and Susan, along with all of our winners, had a bobblehead of themselves actually handed to him.
I saw some of the photos posted. I haven't seen it on his desk yet. So when
Vince,
I do, I'm going to ask if I could have a selfie with it.
You really need a selfie. Not with Vince, though, with the bobblehead.
With the bobblehead, yes.
Right. Way better.
Yes, without a doubt. So on Saturday night, Mark, I noted you were downtown at the Donald Driver event. More than $1 million was raised for community initiatives and scholarships for Boys and Girls Clubs. And obviously Hall of Famer wide receiver Donald Driver's Foundation, the Driven to Achieve Awards. Tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, really nice. I've been lucky to be involved with that event since the beginning, and I've been on the board for, I believe, 3 or 4 years now. Just a great event in the community held over at the Northwestern Mutual. A lot of people come together to raise money. He is such a great athlete, but he's even a greater individual off the field. And what he's done, he could have, after he was through in the NFL, he could have just went home, obviously made a lot of money, and he could have just lived a great life. But instead, he comes back to Milwaukee all the time and is very active here, and he's very engaged here, and he gives money here to groups. So what this is, it really highlights that. The other thing I think it's great is, and I go to a lot of these events, a lot of charity events. I'm always amazed how generous the people in Milwaukee are. I mean, to think about that. On any weekend in Milwaukee, there's going to be four of these events or more, and they're all going to raise a lot of money, which shows how generous we are, how generous some of the businesses are, and how that's important to the community. I think we out-hit our area in a sense for that. Think about that. On Saturday night, to actually raise $1 million for scholarships for these industries is very important.
Yeah, with 400 people in attendance, truly impressive. And another, just a hat tip to Donald Driver. I know he's continuing to get more and more involved in the community. Right. I know he was touring the Near West Side recently, looking at some strategic investments in some of the projects there. So it's just so important to have advocates for the community that have worked here for a long time, but that are coming back.
Well, that's it. Again, he could stay down in Houston or down in that area, come to Dallas. He doesn't have to come back here to be involved, but he loves the area, and everybody loves him. And it's just a great match. And, to see that excitement when he's in the room and kind of what he can do is really impressive.
Yes. All right. So tonight is the debut of Top Chef, and I know you have some interesting insights there, Mark. There's a premiere tonight at Discovery World. You had a chance to interview all 3 judges last fall.
Right.
What are your insights, and what are you looking forward to there?
This is fun, and I don't think we all really quite understand how important this is, how kind of impactful it is. I've been lucky enough to see the episode that's going to show tonight already, and what it shows about the city, the views of the city, from the art museum to the river to the skyline. And then to be inside a restaurant and to spend that entire show in a restaurant in Milwaukee, I think is just great for the city. What it's going to show to somebody who's in Atlanta, who's in Orlando, or who's in Austin, who's thinking about a trip, who loves food, is all going to say, wow, maybe I should try Milwaukee. Maybe I should go there and eat at some of these great restaurants. So I think I think it's good for our name right now, but I think long term to have this show to be on for, I think it's 12 weeks or kind of whatever it is great, because every week it's going to be about Milwaukee. They're going to be up in Madison. They're going to be all over the region here. I was lucky enough to actually see a couple of the filmings, and it's just an amazing showcase for Milwaukee.
And there's so many business realities for restaurants in the area today, so having a global showcase like Top Chef in Madison and Milwaukee can really have impact for these restaurants.
Well, we've already seen it. We've already written about a couple of restaurants where the judges were going to. They were going to 3 of the brothers. 3 brothers for months. You can't even, you can call weeks in advance and you can't all of a sudden get access to it. There's going to be other restaurants after the show. Think about that. Kind of after the show airs, there's going to be a few restaurants in Milwaukee that are going to be solid for a long time. We have a lot of great chefs in Milwaukee, and I don't think that's always known. And to see them in the spotlight, as you will tonight, there'll be a couple of them on the show are actually in Milwaukee and are guest judges and are very well-known chefs. That's great for their restaurants. That's good. That's just a great advertisement.
All right. Business headlines coming at us fast. Here on the Upswing, demolition is starting at the former Boston Store site at Northridge, work at the airport, the Bucks and micro sponsors, and a whole lot more coming up after this break.
Join the Truth Team on Saturday, April 13th for our third annual Tory Low Community Cleanup. We want you to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up and be a volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who joins will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com. That is truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify our city together. The Truth Community Cleanup is sponsored by Cousin Subs.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Buthan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We looked at a few businesses that purchase homes, and Grandview seemed to be the one that had it together. Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Welcome back to the Upswing. Local business headlines with Mark Cass and Sean Ryan from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Demolition today starts at the former Boston store as part of the Northridge site. I believe the interior demo is kind of already started, but Sean Ryan, I know you have some insights into what's happening at Northridge, and this is the last Boston store standing, and down it comes.
Well, in the city of Milwaukee.
Yes.
This is one where the city has been inside clearing out the asbestos, getting up to this point where you're going to start to see the walls coming down. It's going to be visible from the exterior where they are going to be knocking down that Boston store. The city has owned the Boston store out there at Northridge Mall since 2017, but only in end of January or so took ownership of the rest of the malls. So think of the demolition of the Boston store as a preview for what might be starting this summer when they're taking down the rest of Northridge, too.
Right. And basically the mayor said, we're ready to think about what's next. What is coming next at Northridge?
We know the city did not support the concept of the current mall being turned into warehousing, so I wouldn't expect, a low job density industrial use there. I've heard a lot of the term highest and best use, but that hasn't been defined, so expect outreach to the neighborhood. I would expect some housing. I would expect a range of commercial businesses, and I'm sure the city's going to want some jobs there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think you're going to see some sort of kind of mixed use out there. Probably maybe some type of retail, small retail, obviously nothing big anymore, housing, office, jobs. He said that over and over again. I mean, the mayor said, I want jobs there. What's interesting to me is think about that: 20 years, over 20 years of nothing.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I can remember growing up how, I mean, that area was so active and so vibrant. I mean, I used to ride over there on my hike all the time. It was great. Now it's been 20 years of nothing.
Yeah.
Anything's good, but to see some activity out there, to see the walls come down, I'm sure all the neighbors are just going to be thrilled to finally see that.
Yeah, and hopefully the days of the break-ins and the random fires are gone, and now we can imagine it almost as a new neighborhood is coming to the Northridge site, and it's pretty inspiring to think of it that way.
And that's rare in the city, because where are you going to find land of that size and in terms of acres to actually redevelop?
Yes. All right. Let's move on to the airport. Getting more flights in and out of MKE is a good thing for the region and the entire state, for sure. You know, I think you look at, statewide, we lose money in economic impact because people are flying out of O'Hare. So adding an international wing could be a good thing. What's your update there, Sean Ryan?
That's right. This is about the international terminal. The city or the airport has been using one that's pretty much disconnected from the main concourse right now. So if you want to have an international flight, you have to have it taxied the airplane back to the main concourse. It's not efficient. Right now you see charter flights that'll take you to your spring break destinations right now. And they're hoping to build what would be about an $80 million international terminal concourse there at the airport. They're going to seek federal grants to do that, and if they succeed, they'll get the grants next year, and it'll be about a 2-year project.
Okay.
Kind of well needed. It's been kind of talked about it for a long time, Jeff, because it's one of the rare airports where you enter where there's actually a whole terminal that's empty right now, really not used. That's not great for the city. To have more international flights, I remember you and I talked about this for the All-Star game. Having the NBA All-Star game here, we need more international flights. We need more nonstop flights. Obviously, this will help that.
Yes. And so going after the federal grants that they're applying for later in the year will provide those funds to help build the new international terminal.
That's right. The county has already approved money for this. They were going to go ahead with it right around in early 2020, and then something happened that really hurt the travel
what happened that year? I don't remember.
So it got shelved. But in the meantime, inflation has driven up the cost of the projects. They're going to seek federal grants to make up that difference.
Okay, very good. I wanted to hit on one other topic. The Angela Bakehouse in Cudahy. I saw actually first on social that they stopped production.
Yeah.
And, just obviously the jobs there, the sale in 2013, it changed its name from Cybros, the Sprouted Bakehouse, to the company's current name. And then it was acquired, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you see every once in a while. It's sad, but things that happened from, we were just talking about from 20 to 22 in terms of COVID, its impact, the staffing, it just it's still out there, and there are companies that are still impacted by that. Sad to see. We've seen a couple companies over the years who have closed. This is another one, and it's just, I don't like it, and it's obviously for the jobs. Hopefully, they'll find jobs, which is not hard right now. Luckily, it's because the unemployment rate is so low, but not good to hear for the community at all.
Yeah, very good. All right. Well, nothing constant but change. That's what we always say here on the Upswing, right? Coming up next after the break, we are going to talk about the Bucks micro sponsorships and possible targets there, a new venue in the Deer District, and talk a little bit about what the predictions could be for the future at the Deer District. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next, and we'll continue our conversation with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The judge overseeing the Georgia election interference case ruling today he will allow Donald Trump to appeal a ruling allowing Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis to remain on the prosecution. Violence in Haiti continuing. The UN's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs warning this morning that the country's health care system is on the verge of collapse. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Port-au-Prince.
The healthcare system in this city has effectively collapsed. It means that if you need care, if you need dialysis, if you need cancer treatments, if you break your foot, if you are shot, where do you go for care? And that is not a clear answer for people in this city. We've been to several hospitals around here. They're closed. They're boarded up. We've spoken to doctors here who are not willing to go to work for fear of being killed on their way.
In northern Gaza, UN-backed report also says famine is imminent. An appeals court today hearing arguments on the Texas law again on hold that would allow state officials to arrest migrants suspected of being in the country illegally. This is ABC News.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time 1031, new legislation passes requirements for private security guards in Milwaukee after the death of Isaiah Allen last August. Allen was shot and killed at a gas station convenience store by a man acting as security who was not properly vetted. Milwaukee Common Council passed an ordinance Tuesday that requires private security guards to obtain a license and a bonding agreement, including a background check. Exterior structural demolition of the Milwaukee-owned Boston store at the former Northridge Mall begins as early as today. City took full possession of the mall in late January. While no formal plan's been released, City expects to pursue a complete redevelopment of the site with a mix of uses. Best Buy announcing it'll close some stores and terminate some employees. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports 10 to 15 stores will close, but it's uncertain if any will be Wisconsin locations. Wisconsin has 22 stores in the state, 7 in the metro Milwaukee area. Some Midwest closures already underway, including a Best Buy store in Minneapolis. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 37 points, 39,148. NASDAQ is up 5, and the S&P 500 is up 2. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Some construction slowing. I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown. Normally about an 11-minute drive. It's going to take you closer to 15 minutes this morning. Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. It's going to be cool today. Sunny skies but breezy and a high of 36. Overnight low tonight 24. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with snow late at night with a high Thursday 35. A mix possible on Friday, maybe even some snow accumulation with a high 37. Sunny and cold on Saturday, high 33. Then increasing cloudiness on Sunday. A mix later on with a high Sunday 39 degrees. Madison 28, Green Bay 27, Milwaukee 33 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 1033.
A Friday Lent fish fry is a delicious tradition, but don't wait until Friday. During Lent, the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford serves their fabulous fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Chef fish fry. And listen to this. The Mine Chef has lowered their Lent fish fry prices. The cod is all you can eat. It's just $9.99. And now the shrimp, perch, and poor man's lobster are also all $9.99. It's the best fish fry value anywhere. Desserts, as always, are buy one, get one free. Relax with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, a cold brew, or a glass of wine. Your kids can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. Saturday, the prime rib dinner is under $25. The Sunday brunch is just $14.99. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, lots of seating. Lots of close parking. Enjoy the all-you-can-eat Wednesday Lent fish fry today for under $10. It's big food. It's big fun. Reserve now. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we have represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
We're back. I'm Jeff Sherman. This is The Upswing. Tickets are on sale right now to see Giannis join his brother Thanasis on stage for Thanasis Live, presented by Carbless, this Friday night in Milwaukee. Go to TALiveshow.com to get tickets before they sell out. Get ready for the experience that the Antetokounmpo brothers, like never before, spend time, intimate time, with Giannis and Thanasis on March 22nd at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Event Center. All ages are welcome and families are encouraged. TAShow.com to access limited tickets. That's TAShow.com to see Giannis and special guests at the Thanasis Live, presented by Carbliss, this Friday in Milwaukee. TAShowlive.com. So, talking Bucks, a good segue. The Bucks are seeking micro sponsorships. And what are some of the possible targets? If you're looking at, the news was they're looking for 40 new sponsors at about smaller sponsors at a $25,000 level.
I mean, it's something you've seen there when you go to games. You see them always highlight some of these small firms on the scoreboard who are there in attendance. I think what they're trying to do, and something the Bucks do very well, is really reach out in the community to get more of the community involved, because then more of the community will attend games. So I think you'll see a lot of small businesses, women-owned businesses, whether it's in the African-American community, whether it's in the Hispanic community, really try to involve them, because the team obviously wants their support, but they've also been very supportive of those areas of the city. So I think this is a smart move, because one, it's good for the team, but it's also really good for those companies.
Yeah, it expands the pool of people that want to get involved and that have the ability to get involved and want some additional ways to showcase their businesses.
Yeah, just again, with a huge name like the Bucks, with Giannis and everything that's going on there, and all the attention they get, for a store on 23rd North or for a store down on 6th and National, this is just a great way to kind of use that to help their brand.
So a new entertainment venue in the former Punch Bowl social space just opened up, the new fashioned.
Yes.
What are I know you had a chance to walk through. What are the unique opportunities and challenges there? Kind of a local taking over for a national.
Well, I think what I was impressed with is that it's very local. I now know the owner of it. It's not a big national player. It involves some of the restaurateurs who involved are local people we all know who have a stake in it. So I think that's important. You see that in housing all the time, right? You kind of, when the owner's in town as compared to an out of towner, you just get more attention. It gets more support. So I think that was important. I think what they offered was kind of really cool last night. They have a wall there of beer and soda and alcohol, all from either here in Milwaukee or from around the state. So I thought that was important, just to showcase local products. They have a store in there now, a retail store that sells local products. They have a restaurateur who all of us knows who actually runs the Edison and who runs other restaurants in town that we all know, and they have his food, and they have hamburgers and East curds and all the things you think about Wisconsin. So I think that's what's going to be kind of hopefully make them very successful long term. Because under the old format, it was a restaurant I could have gone to in hypothetically Indianapolis, or not really unique to Milwaukee. So I think that is, but great spot.
Yeah.
You and I were talking earlier. I'll never forget in 2021 in the midst of the NBA Finals. It was shut down.
Yeah.
Not even selling water, beer, nothing. 60,000 of us were outside the building and nobody was inside.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, and now with the like you said, Mark, the local connections make it, or has the opportunity to make it, more of a non-game day destination as well. Yes, it's going to be packed for those game days and those events and those concerts, but now with that local connection, I think it will be much more of a destination.
And you have to have that. You can't just rely on the NBA day games. You have to have something to draw in on a Monday night or on a Thursday night in July.
Yeah.
You have to have a reason to go there.
All right. When we come back, Sean Ryan, I want to get your thoughts on retail drive-throughs, apartments in the Deer District, and we got to talk 794. We're going to talk scooters in Wauwatosa. All this, more, and much more coming up on The Upswing.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations too at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
Nelnet Incorporated, the nation's largest, most respected student loan servicer, has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Facilities Coordinator Sunday Heidemann.
James Imaging has been a local provider for us for many years. They are reliable, they're responsible, and they take care of all of our printer needs.
Just what you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I think we get a great value with James Imaging with their service and the contracts that we have with them, that our cost stays low and we get the most for our money.
Sunday, what's the benefit for you with James Imaging Systems?
It makes my job more enjoyable that I can count on these people to do what they're trained to do, and I have no worries because I know I'm going to be taken care of.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
The Original Botanas Restaurant. Delectable entrees, 50 top shelf tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors. Stop by for lunch or before or after the big game. The Original Botanas on 5th Street.
You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Fast and furious business headlines with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Milwaukee Business Journal. We wrapped up a discussion on the new fashioned opening at the Deer District. But Sean, I wanted to see from your reporting what you're hearing in terms of, possibly new retail, new apartments, new entertainment venues coming to the Deer District next.
There is a lot on the horizon. Starting in May, potentially, FPC Live has got plans for their about 4,000 seats concert venue. That's going to be just south of Fiserv Forum. So that's something that's in the works, and we might see construction this year on that. But one thing that's been in the back of my mind, an interesting $80 million project that's going next to the Trade Hotel out there. It's going to have 210 apartments. It's by J. Jeffers and Company, a Milwaukee developer. But on the ground floor, they've got about 27,000 square feet that they've been saying is going to be a unique activation for the area. And I'm curious about what that's going to be. It hasn't been announced, but hopefully we'll be hearing pretty soon what's going to go in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think next you'll see there, Jeff, it's kind of changed. They had first kind of talked about office, a large office over there. And unfortunately, the company who they're going for is in this building now, and that's Fiserv. So that was the hope. And I think you've heard them talk since 2021, 22 with COVID. It's now more aimed at housing, retail, hotel. You'll see another hotel go there soon, probably on the southwest area of the site. And then you'll see housing more on the northern side. The thing I'm looking forward to, as I'm sure you are, is now as it kind of moves north up the hill into the Brewers Hill, which we'll hopefully see the start of the museum soon, and then maybe some more housing projects up that hill, and just kind of moving up that way north would be great for the area.
Yeah. Well, and as Jenna McGuire from Collier's mentioned on the show on Monday, that National Ace Hardware building still is in play, looking for the right tenant and the right
years
mix.
ago was supposed to be a Harley dealership. That never happened, unfortunately. but could be a great site for housing.
Yeah, we'll look forward to continuing to watch that story and more. So I wanted to segue a little bit into 794. You had a great story last week. Studies continue for the aging I-794 highway bridges running through downtown to the northern edge of the Hone Bridge and 6th Street. And DOT says that a plan is going to be selected next year. Sean Ryan, is this a and/or discussion? Is it a this or that? Ultimately, at least the way I'm seeing it is that there's a lot of voices and there's a lot of opinions right now. Can it get to this greater good discussion? And what does that look like?
Well, right now you're not seeing a lot of folks saying, let's rebuild it just the way it is right now. Let's not change anything. That idea is not getting a lot of support. You have a lot of folks that are saying, let's make a big splash. Let's get rid of it entirely. Let's clear all that land for development. Let's really put a spotlight on Milwaukee. We've been talking about Top Chef. Let's put a spotlight on Milwaukee by doing that. But there's also several options that have gotten a lot of support as well of let's redesign it. Let's make it smaller. And if you do that, you can shrink the footprint and clear up more land for development, for public space downtown by keeping also that connection that'll get you from the Home Bridge to the Marquette interchange. And we're seeing South Shore communities rally behind that. We're seeing some folks downtown saying, well, that seems like a reasonable option. Where it's going to end up, we're going to find out. We're going to have more public hearings in fall from the DOT.
Okay. Mark, anything additional you're hearing?
Yeah, I mean, this one is, Jeff, you and I have been around here longer than Sean. We're a little bit older than Sean. And, we remember what happened on the northern side of downtown and kind of how that worked out well. But for this one, it's interesting. There are people who want this ripped down. They are just really, really ardent supporters of ripping it down. And then there's people on the other side who are saying, well, come on, let's hold up. And is there a middle ground? If you ask the people who support knocking it down, they say no. If you ask the people who don't support knocking it down, they say yes. So is there a way to end up in the middle here? I don't know if there is. I hope there is. Yeah. I mean, really, because otherwise this could get pretty aggressive in fall and in 25 in terms of opposition on either side.
One good voice in it, and I got to get to break, but Milwaukee Public Markets, Paul Schwartz, I think has been a really good kind of level-headed voice. Yep. He said, all of us have been in favor of ramp consolidation at minimum, turning Clybourne into two directions, opening up space for new land development. Schwartz said, these are all important parts of the project. So it'll be interesting to see and watch. Obviously, the Milwaukee Public Market could be impacted, so to have a voice saying, all right, I'm open to solutions, I think is a good thing. We'll come back. We'll hit on Lime scooters in Wauwatosa and close out our discussion with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
All of the drama, all of the heart-pounding anticipation, all of the dancing.
Rises up the shot, and it's good! It's good!
Keep it here on WTMJ for all of your March Hoops craziness during every sports update on Wisconsin's morning and afternoon news. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Don't miss a single moment of this.
At the buzzer, got it! Are you kidding me?
All tourney long on WTMJ.
If there's any one thing that matters most to home sellers, it's their real estate agent getting as close to their asking price as possible. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and here's a fact that should get you to think twice before calling anyone else. Statistics reveal Benefit Realty's list price to sale price ratio is over 100%. When you choose Benefit Realty, we're working as hard as we can to get you all that we can. Get proven performance and full service, all for only 3.9% real estate commissions. Benefit-realty.com. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty. When it comes to getting the peak price for your home sale, it's all a matter of eyeballs. The more people we get your home listing in front of, the more opportunities arise. At Benefit Realty, we are ultra confident in promising you maximum exposure to your listing. We want to sell it fast and for as much as we can for you. That way, all sides win. And I have to believe that's why we've achieved the strong growth that we have. Maximum exposure means maximum home sale value. Benefit-realty.com.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out geistdoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in Southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, wrapping up our conversation with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Dockless scooters could be rolling into Wauwatosa, my hometown, as early as April 1st under a proposal by Lime that city officials are considering. What are you hearing here, Sean?
Well, we're going to be seeing dockless scooters again in Wauwatosa and likely again here in Milwaukee. You're right, Lime has been putting out numbers. They're enthusiastic about keeping them on the streets here in the area. They said they tallied 500,000 rides in the city of Milwaukee last year just on Lime scooters alone. So both those cities are going to bring them back, and they're both going to get some revenue out of that by getting per-fee fines, revenue. I'm not sure what the term would be.
Okay. Well, and it's that nice kind of last, I don't know, in the business they sometimes call it that last mile solution, right? Whether you're parking your car, you're taking public transit, and a scooter is there that might get you to your destination a little quicker.
What I think is interesting about this, Jeff, is think about 3 years ago or 2 or 3 when this first started. Everybody there was either you were for it or against it. Remember?
Right.
It was pretty ugly to begin with. It's kind of lost that, and they're just kind of there now. And as long as they're not thrown on the sidewalk, or as long as I'm not run over, kind of by one, they just kind of exist, which I think is great. Alternate transportation in a city is good for the city. It means that you can park on the lakefront and maybe kind of ride one to downtown, as you said, or park here to go to Summerfest.
Yeah.
Again, good options.
Having the bubbler bikes, having scooters, it's just, you need to get somewhere a little quicker. It's great. I would like to figure out a way to get the helmet solution. Like, could I rent a helmet right?
I see.
Like for me, like you're going kind of quick, and I'm like, I want a helmet on when I'm on
just
a
in
scooter.
case, right? You're always
just in case. I'm a safety first, Mark.
I don't want to get a splat on the ground.
Yes.
I get it.
What about parking for scooters? Are you hearing? I mean, I know the city has done some things to make sure that, hey, park your scooter here so they don't get put on sidewalks or kind of thrown into a parking lot.
Yep, there are regulations on where they can be parked. You're right, the city of Milwaukee has created little corrals where they're supposed to go on the public streets. And if DPW, this is either in Wauwatosa or Milwaukee, has to go and take one of those scooters and move them, they're going to find the company that owns that scooter.
Okay. All right. Staying in Wauwatosa, Sean, you recently caught up with John Fasalo and his team. He had obviously dropped plans for his 28-story Drew apartment tower and office tower last year, but he seems to have continued interest in Wauwatosa, right?
Definitely. He's heavily invested in Wauwatosa. He's got the Moe's Irish restaurant out there, and he's buying more properties, even one that was affected by the new zoning change that the city approved, partially in response to Drew Tower, that set a new height cap on buildings. And Vassallo said for this property I'm looking at, they also lifted the density caps. So there's no limit on the number of apartments we can build, just on the height of the building, and that's beneficial to us. So we're going to try to work within those regulations. He said he's still bullish on Wauwatosa, and he's still spending money there.
Okay. It's good to have entrepreneurial developers who go through a process and, maybe for whatever reason, it doesn't come to fruition, but kind of get back on the horse and keep driving things forward.
Yeah, he's been real interesting on Wauwatosa. He's just an interesting guy overall. Which is I've been very impressed with his. He just keeps coming up with plans. Wauwatosa is, I think it's easy to say, is a hard place at times because everyone has an opinion, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also a community of growth, a community. A lot of individuals want to live there, so housing is needed. So I think. I give him credit. He'll get something there. I don't think it's ever going to be the 28-story high-rise, that's for sure. But, maybe it's a 3 or 4-story project. Again, it's just a thing. So, I give him credit for that.
All right, in the last 30, 40 seconds here, give us your favorite downtown lunch spot. And if you can, let us know what you're working on for the rest of the week. Sean?
Go ahead,
Am
Sean.
I allowed to tell him about it?
Sean, you can tell him
Come
something.
on.
Just kind of lead him down a path, but we're not going to give him everything.
Oh, we're going to be talking about I-94.
There you go.
Whether that should be expanded.
That's right. For me, for lunch, I think that's a great question. And, I love going to the Pfister. I love going to the cafe at the Pfister just because you're going to run into everybody you know. I used to love to go there when Herb Cole went because I'd always see Herb in his booth, and that was always fun. But you just run into people, have conversation. It's like the city. It's really a smaller city. Unfortunately, there's not as many options for lunch anymore in the heart of downtown as well as COVID. So I love going there.
All right, Sean, quickly.
I'm a pack of lunch guy, ham and Swiss.
He is.
Right.
I see him every
Very
day
good.
sitting at the counter eating his lunch. That's
There
good.
it is, a power lunch with Sean Ryan and Mark Cass. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always good to be here.
Wisconsin's Midday News with Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik is coming up next.
Get 0% interest for up to